everybody, and welcome back to my channel, T.O.BlueJays. I'm your host, Ian Smith. And now, while I do have better news since my video Thursday night, it's not exactly all good news. And I think all Blue Jays fans are very upset about Ryan Yarbrough not being on this team after the very poor pitching from Richard Lovelady that really kept us out of the game on Saturday after Max Scherzer was only able to go 3 innings. Uh, and I know that they want Yariel Rodriguez to be the long man. They don't want to have two long men in the bullpen. Um, but Richard Lovelady as the second lefty, especially when Brandon Little isn't like, oh my God, an amazing pitcher, like, 1 or 2 ERA, it's kind of frustrating, especially if Scherzer is going to have an up and down season like most of us expect he will, already, going on the 15-day IL. Who's going to be the third man in the rotation now? So I know the Blue Jays have made a few moves. I know Easton Lucas has come up as well. But it's kind of just frustrating because this is exactly why Ryan Yarbrough would have been so much better than a Richard Lovelady. And quite frankly, if Richard Lovelady can't perform, they're gonna have to DFA him, or just move him down to the minors if he has any options left. They might even need to put him on outright waivers. And again, Ryan Yarbrough would have been perfect for this situation. For one, being able to eat up a bunch of innings with Scherzer not being able to, and just to be an overall quality lefty out of the bullpen overall. So still really trying to figure out the reasoning behind Ross Atkins and Mark Shapiro doing that, especially since it's only $2 million a year. But anyways, we can't do much about it. It is what it is. So I would say Saturday's game, it was more the bullpen that hurt us, because Scherzer was able to pitch more. Yes, he gave up a first inning home run, but if he's able to pitch longer, we probably would have had a better chance at possibly winning that game. But quite frankly, on my video on Thursday, I alluded to this. It's just how the Blue Jays are going to be. If it's going to be an up and down all year again, it's going to be frustrating. Now, of course, I'm glad that they won two of the three games on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But my goodness, is it impossible for this team to win three in a row? I mean, I'm hoping they can at least win the friggin' series against the Nationals before they got some big opponents coming up ahead once again. And again, I'm not making excuses for them because if they want to be a quote unquote World Series contending team, they need to be able to beat the other good teams. So they got to take an opportunity to beat up on Washington to get ahead a little bit while they can, because it's going to be very hard for this team with the way they are right now, because they're honestly, over the 4 games so far, they haven't looked like a big threat, if you ask me. So we got to make sure that they're able to, or they got to make sure rather, that they can actually win the series against Washington and get a couple of games over 500, and not only, hopefully, not just one, but 2 games over 500, not three, and not go 3 games below, because we know that teams like Washington often beat up on Toronto because Toronto just always traps the bed, unfortunately. With that being said, again, I think the pitching really hurt us on Saturday with Scherzer not being able to go more than 3 innings. But obviously, the pitching, Chris Bassett, he was only able to go what? I think it was 5 innings in yesterday's game. He threw a lot of pitches. That just shows you how, good the Orioles are, that they're willing to wait on pitches. Now, of course, they ultimately lost the game 3-1, but at least Yariel Rodriguez was able to come to the bullpen and do very well in yesterday's game. A friend of mine from work actually went, and they were very concerned when Yariel Rodriguez was coming out into the game. But anyways, luckily the Blue Jays still ended up winning. So that was good that they at least got the series sweep, or excuse me, a series split rather. Um, God forbid if they ever actually did get a sweep, especially against the Orioles. Uh, but again, like at least the hitting has been a little bit better. I still think it's funny that everyone's so concerned about Andres Jimenez and the offensive numbers he was going to be able to put up. But look, he's actually been our best hitter thus far. I mean, obviously Bo had a much better few games over the weekend, and Vlad. doing a little bit more damage. Santander still needs to get it going. Now, to be honest, I'm not trying to make an excuse, but he did get the spring training a little bit later just because of his visa situation and all that. So who knows? Maybe he'll become a Canadian citizen now that he's in Toronto rather than trying to become an American citizen. Um, but anyways, that's a whole other thing. But he has to catch up a little bit more before because he did miss a bunch of spring training. He got there, I think it was towards the middle of March, even maybe towards the end of March that he actually, well, I guess technically we're in the end of March now, but he got there later than everyone else. Okay. So I honestly think that maybe they can move him down to the fourth spot because Andres Jimenez is doing so well in the third spot right now. That maybe they can give him a few more looks, get a few more ideas on what the pitcher's going to do, hit fourth, and then once he's actually getting going, move him up into the lineup. And Alan Roden, another key player that's doing really, really well right now. If he keeps doing this, I think he just brings an element of excitement to the team because I think what's good for him is that because there's so much pressure on the other players on the team, especially Vlad, I think it's really good for him to kind of just sneak up in there and prove that he can do it. And quite frankly, he's done it so far in 4 games. He's been pretty impressive. Again, I know it's only 4 games, for everyone's going to come. It's just 4 games. I know it's only 4 games. I know there's still a lot, 158 more games to go. We don't have a lot of sample from him, but if he keeps doing this, and I think it's a perfect way for him to come up kind of in the background, not take the light, not have too much pressure on him, and he keeps doing this, it's going to be really, really good for him and in turn the Blue Jays. Uh, but yeah, so just to recap, Thursday obviously lost 12-2. Terrible, terrible game. Jose Barrios obviously, not what he wanted to do. The bullpen also sucked. Um, then on Friday night, they won 8-2, so very good job. Kevin Gosman did very well. He only gave up 1 run, and the bullpen only gave up 1 run as well. And then on Saturday, obviously Max Scherzer went 3 good innings, but he hurt himself. He threw 45 pitches or so, I think. So he's got the sore thumb issue again. The bullpen gave up the game because it was 4-2 actually at one point for the Blue Jays, and then from there, obviously, I think it became 6-4, and then it became 9-4, and then it was 9-5, or maybe it was 8-4, and then 8-5, and then 9-5. And then yesterday they won 3-1. With Bassett only giving up 1 run and the bullpen giving up no runs. So, I mean, overall, I think they gave up more runs than they scored themselves. But at the end of the day, they just got to win games. It doesn't matter by how many runs. I mean, obviously, we want them to get more runs. But so far, I think the key players that have really done the damage for the Blue Jays, Andres Jimenez and Alan Roden, have been the 2 stars over the 4 games series played against the Baltimore Orioles. We'll see what happens now against the Washington Nationals. And the star pitcher, I would say, obviously being Kevin Gosman, and then following behind him is Chris Bassett. So hopefully Barrios can turn around. Hopefully, Bowman Francis pitching against Washington will kind of boost his confidence starting tonight in the regular season. And then for the bullpen, time will tell. Hopefully, the bullpen will be managed slightly better than it has been. And thank you guys for watching this video. Go Jays Go! It's about to be the start of the game, so I'm going to close this video, get it uploaded to YouTube, and then go and watch the Jays myself. And as always, Go Jays Go! See you in the next video.